In September of 2008, Gloucester was approached by United Water with an offer to purchase our water system. United Water was at the time operator of our water and wastewater treatment plants. A year later, in August of 2009, we were hit with the boil water order in response to the failure of the Babson water treatment plant. We should take note of the lessons learned by Paris and other cities around the world, and that is that problems with privatization of water systems far outweigh any perceived benefits. And remember, a corporation's commitment is to its shareholders and to produce maximum profits, not to protect the rights of the people or to provide safe, clean, and affordable water. By the way, United Water's parent company is a French multinational corporation, Suez, one of France's two water privatization giants, who now owns a liquefied natural gas terminal 10 miles off our coast. The ordinance in part reads, quote, that access to clean and affordable water is essential for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We believe that our rights are threatened when public water systems which guarantee that access are controlled by a corporate few rather than by our community. The city asserts that, A, all people have certain inalienable rights, including the right to life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and equal justice under the laws of the United States, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and the city of Gloucester. As elected public officials, you have the sworn duty to uphold our constitutional, civil, and human rights. It is our right under the Constitution to self-governance, and it is our obligation to educate and assist you in decisions safeguarding our rights. It is your duty to put in place those protections that will provide that security for our basic human right, the right to water. And I declare that water is a basic human right. Thousands of things we can live without. Nothing can live without water. I respectfully request that tonight you vote to accept the Gloucester Public Water Systems Ordinance. I also ask this council to make the commitment to draft language for a referendum on the 2011 ballot that will make it unlawful for our public water systems and public water systems infrastructure within the city of Gloucester to be owned by any entity other than the city of Gloucester. And I further ask that you support a home rule petition that will change our city charter so that no individual, mayor, or city council will have the right to dispose of our water systems without the vote of the people. Thank you.
Is there anyone present this evening that is in opposition to the ordinance that we're discussing this evening? I see none. I see one.
My name's Pat McCabe. I live at 16 Sabre Street. I've been in third world countries where I can drink the water out of the tap. Honestly, I wish I could have brought the gallons of water that are in my basement cellar that are brown. That's what's coming into the house. So maybe I'm in a bad part of town. I don't know about you, but they also hand out a little kit that says, hey, if your clothes are red or dyed. I don't think I own anything that's white in my house. Because if you wash it in the washing machine, it ends up being, it's not white. So that's kind of I just wanted to make sure that you would hear my story about how I'm thinking about us maintaining our own water rights. So I'm sorry I haven't spent a lot of time investigating and looking into your cause. I'm sure it's just. I really do. But I don't think that a large corporation is just a simple comment that's been said more than 2 or 3 times that it's for the shareholders. Well, then become a shareholder. Become a shareholder. And then have voting rights as to what happens. I mean, that's an option too. We just accept it as kind of status quo. So, I mean, if we're moving forward owning our own water, I'm looking forward to somebody figuring out how we can actually get the pipes clean so that we're not dealing with the old system of what's going on and poisoning ourselves.
I'd like to address what the gentleman who preceded me spoke about. We got to see what the outcome of 15 years of neglect is, and that took place because we allowed a multinational corporation, United Water, to neglect and run down our system. That's part of the plan, that's part of the template, and we're on to that.
I received several communications, all of which were in support, and I will read the names and addresses, if you'd like, of those individuals. David Hodgkins of 550 Essex Avenue supports the adoption of the ordinances being considered. Lawrence McNulty of Manchester supports it as beneficial to Cape Ann. Timba Bell of 33 Dollars Neck supports the adoption of the ordinance. Suzanne London supports the adoption of the ordinance and also requests that a referendum be put forth in 2011. Robert Vial of Gloucester supports the adoption. Cheryl Brecker of Gloucester supports the adoption and also requests that a referendum be put forward in 2011. Marlene Hodgkins of 550 Essex Avenue in Gloucester supports the adoption of the ordinance. Matt Collins of 8 Smith Street in Rockport supports the adoption on behalf of his elderly parents who live on Moquita Road in Gloucester. Carol Yeager of 8 Putnam Avenue supports the adoption of the ordinance. And Kurt Gollard of 37 Beacon Street has submitted a list of questions.
I wonder, is there any way that a state law or a federal law could usurp the local ordinance?
Thank you.
There is always the risk that a local ordinance can be superseded by a state or federal law. Hence, it's not just enough to be vigilant at the local level. The vigilance must continue upwards to those state and federal levels through organizations such as these and through our own votes and voices.
While we are here tonight, there are people out there working right now to manipulate the system so that they can swoop in and sweep up water supplies throughout our country. This has resulted in total disasters all over the world where people have literally died.
All those many years ago, 40 years ago, I was working on water as a city councilor at large. And I think that we can all take pride in the fact that we have collectively avoided total disaster by being careful with our water. And I vehemently oppose any attempt by any private corporation or anybody in the private sector trying to buy our reservoirs and our fresh drinking water, or any of the mechanical stuff that goes along with that. We need to have this ordinance, which has been so skillfully put together. I'm thrilled with the ordinance.
In a healthy fishing industry lies our past. There also lies our future. If you consider the issues deeply, you will discover that they are joined at the hip. To protect our rights to our water is the same as to protect our rights to fish. These are two aspects of a general question, the question of rights versus regulations. I thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
We had the auditorium filled with people, citizens, ordinary people in the city who came out to support this ordinance. And this ordinance passed the city council with a full vote.
Whiskey's for drinking, water's for fighting. Is that important? Think about how a private water utility sets its rates and how it makes its money, because it's got to make money. That's money that could be plowed back into the system, but instead it goes back to corporate profits and shareholders. Who are the shareholders of the corporation known, the community known as the city of Gloucester? We are. We can be the shareholders. We don't need Veolia or United Mint shareholders to get the job done. We can do it here. Passing this ordinance tonight, I think we can declare that, and by folks staying engaged in the hard work, pulling this wagon forward, we'll do a better job in the future. Thanks for bringing this forward. I'll be proud to do it.
City of Gloucester since 1976, and I can't think of any city council or any mayor in that time that would have ever even considered selling our water to anybody, and I don't see it happening in the future either. I think this is a good ordinance, and I think we should pass it.
In case of money, metaphorically speaking, come to town trying to take over the water system, and they weren't Santa Claus. They were looking to make some profit, I think.
And that was enough. Let's stand together and let's own something together. Thank you so much for having the decency to come forward and to educate us. Thank you.
Working with our group of Who Decides, I felt very privileged to know how concerned and how hard you would work for not only for yourselves but the rest of our community. But I am obviously going to vote for this tonight, and I'm really thankful for all of you for working on this. You've done a wonderful job. Thank you.
Water is the soul of the community. So the capacity of the water in Gloucester and the quality of the water in Gloucester is the biggest asset that we have. And we, maybe the distribution system needs a lot to be desired. But that, with age, we can take care of it. But to have such a resource and such an asset and put it on the auction block is the worst catastrophe that could ever happen in this city. That is not going to happen. Our soul in Gloucester is not going to be for sale. Our water is not going to be for sale. You've done a great job. Thank you.
The government has a duty and an obligation. We have obligations and duties to each other. You can't make a profit running a fire department. You can't make a profit running a police department. You can't make a profit running a school department. And you cannot make a profit, I believe, in running a water department. That is a public good. And we, as the citizens of this community, have a moral obligation to ourselves and to our generations on board.
So I will be wholeheartedly supporting this ordinance change today. Thank you.
Thank you, Council.